Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today we're sitting down and doing a foundation wear test, and we're also testing a new concealer from the drugstore that I'm so excited to try. My hope is that I have a drugstore concealer to recommend to you all after this video. Now, full disclosure, I went to Ulta yesterday and I thought I was picking up the new Nude Glow from Ulta. From IT Cosmetics. Instead, I just realized as I started filming that I picked up the Bye Bye Foundation Full Coverage Moisturizer. So a little disappointed that I didn't get the product I intended to get. However, I haven't tried this product, so I'm going to do a foundation review over this product. And I was kind of excited when I got online and read all the details about this foundation. It sounds very promising. I am a huge fan of the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. I think that's a beautiful, beautiful product. So my hope is that this is as good in different ways. Now, a few things about this product. It offers full coverage. It is a moisturizer. It has 3D Skin Flex technology. It's a color-infused moisturizer that has flexible, pure color pigments that float over lines and wrinkles to deliver a weightless full coverage with a natural satin finish. Kind of love the way that sounds. We will see though. I am gonna wear it today. I'm gonna do some check-ins. We're gonna see how this really puts up to the test. It says that it improves the look of top skin concerns, including redness, pores, dark spots, acne, fine lines, and wrinkles. And it says that it's ideal for all skin types. It had over 3,000 reviews on its website, and it had about a 4.5 star rating, so it sounds very promising. We're also gonna test the Revlon Color Skin Awakening Concealer. I picked this up. This is a 5-in-1 concealer. It's supposed to be really long wearing. I looked on Ulta's website and this has almost 2,000 reviews and it comes in about a 4.5 stars as well. It comes in 19 shades and it retails for $12. It says that it has up to 24-hour wear, which sounds fabulous. Give me 10 hours and I'll be very, very happy. It's described as being very lightweight, transfer resistant, and it gives buildable natural coverage. It also has caffeine and vitamin C in it. So they say that caffeine, will kind of stimulate and wake up the under eye area. So if you have puffiness, it can also help with that. Let's get started. We're gonna apply these two products and then we're gonna do some check-ins throughout the day and see how these wear. All right, so I have just put a little bit of moisturizer on this morning, but it's been about a good hour and a half since I have applied it. So my skin is pretty, it feels moisturized, but it's definitely absorbed into my skin. I didn't apply any SPF because this has SPF 50, so we're gonna rely on this guy today. I have the shade Neutral Medium in this. I'm gonna do one pump. That tends to be about, usually I find that one pump of any product. Oh, actually, I'm gonna do 2 pumps. So this is what you get with 2 pumps of the foundation. You can see the consistency of the product. It looks pretty thick. It's not really budging or moving at all, even though I have my hand up. Gravity is not pulling it down, so that is interesting. All right, and I have a brush and I also have a sponge here. I'm gonna start with a brush though. We're gonna see how this applies with the brush. I'm just gonna go straight from the brush to the product. I'm gonna start in the center of my face and just kind of bounce it on the skin. It definitely has a scent to it. Okay, so my first thought is, how is this gonna be different than the CC cream? Because the CC cream has an SPF of 50 as well, and it kind of has a similar description, full coverage. This definitely feels more of a moisturizer though. It feels and looks a lot more radiant on the skin than the CC cream does to me. It's blending in pretty easily. I almost feel like you could just use your fingers to blend this in. So you can use your fingers. It's definitely spreading the product out and shearing it out a bit more. So if you want that full coverage that it promises, you'll find that you'll use more product by using your fingers. So I'm gonna go back in with a brush so that I can build and get that coverage. Okay, so I did 2 pumps and I still wanna go in and add another pump of this. I don't find that the coverage is really full right off the bat unless you build it up and use more product. Okay, so I'm starting to wonder if this is intended to use underneath a foundation since it's really described as a moisturizer. However, I wouldn't really put a foundation over this because it does give pretty decent coverage. It doesn't really look as full or as I expected it to be. Definitely a lot more shiny than I like. Okay, Lisa, let's see here. Let me read a little bit more about this product because I'm kind of wondering if this is intended to be full coverage moisturizer. Bye Bye Foundation Full Coverage Moisturizer. No, it is a foundation, so there's no need to put a foundation over it. Okay, it's super, super shiny. I'm really not loving how shiny it is. Okay, let's go in, add a little more coverage here. Honestly, I don't feel like you're gonna get full coverage unless you build up quite a bit. I did what do I do, 3 pumps? Okay, all right, we're gonna let that sit for a second before I go in and powder. I'm gonna see how this sets on its own after it has some time. Next, I'm gonna go in with the concealer. So I have the shade 025 Light Beige. That's the shade that I got. I haven't tried this at all. You can see that it's fresh and clean. This is the first time I'm using this product. So it has like a little sponge tip, similar to the Age Rewind by Maybelline. Just gonna squeeze some product to the top. It's actually coming to the top pretty quickly, which is nice. All right, so here we go. Let me see what this feels like. Ooh, okay, this feels super lightweight on the hand and on the skin. Feels very, very lightweight. Let's go in and apply underneath in the inner corner of the eye here. I'm also gonna kind of bring some up here to kind of lift a little bit. Okay, perfect. Now I am going to, do I have a concealer brush handy? I don't have a concealer brush handy, so I'm gonna use the pointy side of my sponge, and I'm just gonna go in and kind of bounce that lightly on top. One of the notations that I saw on the reviews was that this was easily blendable, and it is blending really quickly and nicely. Okay, so it does give more coverage than I expected it to with the consistency of it. I think this is a good shade for me. It's definitely light and brightens under the eye. I could probably have gone a little bit darker, but I don't think that this is too light. Okay, that's really pretty. Ooh, that's nice. Very, very lightweight. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more because I want to get a little more coverage. I think if I had blended it out with a brush and not a sponge, I might not have needed to use a little more product. You know, a sponge is going to absorb a bit more of your product, so it's nice when you're working with a full coverage or heavy product because it'll basically help you, you know, prevent from applying too much. But when you're working with a lightweight product like this, you might end up having to use more when you use a sponge. So what I'm trying to do is just bounce really softly so that I don't overly blend out. And then whatever's left I can just use my finger for. Okay, very nice. Okay, so there's the foundation and the concealer. I definitely think the foundation moisturizer is very shiny. I feel the need to powder pretty heavily to mattify this down. The skin does look pretty though. If you like a dewy, radiant finish, this is a very beautiful foundation. I don't necessarily think it did anything to smooth out or blur out texture on the skin. I feel like the pores on my face are still very obvious, if not even more noticeable. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Translucent Pressed Powder, and we're going to set everything. Okay, so I do have this product here. I figure, you know, if there's any powder that should work well with this product, it would probably be the IT Cosmetics. So we're just gonna go in with a big fluffy brush. This is the BK Beauty 104. And I'm just gonna pick up quite a bit of product because this is a translucent powder and I have a lot of shine. I'm okay with picking up a lot of powder. And I'm just gonna go and press that underneath the eye and on the face. Oh yeah, mattify everything down. Now this product will definitely blur and smooth out pores and texture on the skin. So before I do the other side, I'm gonna show you the sides compared. Now what's great about this product is it's translucent, so it will not alter the color of your foundation or your skin. It'll just absorb shine, smooth out pores, and that is all it does. If you notice, I'm using my brush to press. I'm not sweeping in circles or sweeping, you know, in up and down strokes, because this product is more of a moisturizer and it's so dewy. I didn't want to do that because it will likely spread and move the product. So what I'm doing is I'm just pressing. All right, so now you can see the two sides. So this is with the translucent powder to set everything and mattify everything. And then this is the side where I have not yet set. Obviously a lot of glow, not my personal preference, but it might be yours. Neither one is right or wrong. Just want to show you guys the options. So you definitely can get a nice mattified finish with this product. You just want to set it with powder. All right, let's go powder the other side. The concealer is really nice. Super lightweight, but good coverage. Okay, so I've set everything with powder. Let me go do the rest of my makeup. By the time I'm done with that, it'll be another 15 or 20 minutes. Then I can come back and give you guys my thoughts over how the skin looks, and then we'll check in later throughout the day. So I do have all of my makeup on. I will have all the products that I use listed in the description box for you. I love the way that it came out. One product that I want to shout out, because it's a new product, well, it's new to me, is the Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump in the shade Peachy Beige. That is all I have on my lips. This product feels so good on the lips. So shiny, high glossy. It really does give the look of juicy, juicy lips. It has like a tingling sensation, but it's very comfortable. A sheer but buildable color. You're not gonna get full coverage, but you get a nice, pretty wash of color. love these. I picked up this shade, and then I also picked up the shade Tulip yesterday, so I'm excited to try this. I used all BK Beauty brushes. I will have those listed and linked for you down below. I also want to mention before we hop over to the second portion of this video and do our check-ins that we are having our annual Mother's Day sale right now at bkbeauty.com. So if you have had anything on your list, it's a great time because you get 20 to 30, up to 35% off BK Beauty brushes site-wide right now. So I'll have that listed and linked for you as well. All right, you guys, it is 10:43 a.m. I don't know if you can see that, 10:43 a.m. I'm gonna go about my day. I will do a couple of check-ins. I'll do one in about 3-4 hours, and then I'll come back and we'll do some at the end of the day to see how this foundation moisturizer wears. Hey everyone, it is almost 3 o'clock, so I'm doing a check-in. It's been on a little over 4 hours now, and it actually looks really good. So I have touched up once with the same powder, the translucent powder from IT Cosmetics, but I haven't had to touch up again. And I did feel like I had to touch up pretty quickly after I applied it initially. Like I had applied it, put the powder on, and then within 45 minutes or an hour, I felt the need to touch up again, but I haven't touched up since then, and it looks really good. It hasn't moved. The skin still looks really smooth. So that is my check-in for now. I will include some pictures of how the foundation looks. I'm standing obviously on my patio with natural light, but overall I really like the way everything looks. So I will check in a couple hours. Hello everyone. I just took a glance at my hair and here we are. It is, what time is it? It's a little after 8 p.m. So I have had the makeup on since what, about 10:30 or so, is that right? 10:30, 10:20. So I've had it on for a full day, and I have to say I am pleasantly impressed. I haven't touched up since before my previous check-in. So while I did feel the need to touch up pretty quickly after first applying it, it's been pretty low maintenance all day. I mean, this is what it looks like, you guys, all day. I spent a good chunk of time outside, about an hour watering plants. We just did landscaping this week, so I'm having to manually water every day. And I mean, the makeup still looks like this. Let's take a look closer to see how it looks around the nose. Okay, so now that I'm looking a little closer, it's definitely a little shinier here than I think it is appearing on camera, but still really, really good. There is a little bit of separation wearing here right off my nose, which is kind of typical for me, you know, wearing a foundation that leans a little bit more glowy and wearing it as long as I have with touching up as little as I have. But I have to say overall, I'm really impressed with this foundation. I think it's going to be great for anyone with really dry skin because again, it is very, very hydrating. It is a moisturizer and it definitely feels like a moisturizer when you first apply it. So I think it's going to be great for anyone with dry skin. I think it'll be great for a mature friendly skin because it doesn't move or settle in fine lines or texture or wrinkles. It really stays in place, which to be honest was pretty surprising for me. I expected it to definitely move a lot more than it did. So overall, I think it's a great foundation. The cons are that it didn't quite build up to be a full coverage as I expected it to be, as it was described to be. I had to use quite a bit to get the coverage that I got, and I definitely needed to powder quite a bit when I first applied it because it didn't quite set. It was very shiny at initial application, but once you powder, it stays in place. It doesn't continuously get shiny. The powder doesn't wear off throughout the day. I mean, it doesn't look greasy or shiny, which I'll be honest, I really expected it to. So I'm impressed with this foundation. I don't think it's one that I'm gonna wear every day because again, I kind of like more of mattifying foundations, but I do think it is a great foundation. So with that said, oh, let's talk about the concealer, you guys. I haven't even talked about the concealer. I am impressed with this concealer. It's a lightweight, natural looking concealer. I did notice a little bit of creasing when I first applied it earlier, like within an hour, I noticed a little creasing. I just rubbed it with my finger, but I haven't touched up or had any creasing or wearing off throughout the day, and it still looks pretty good. Again, considering the amount of time that I spent outside watering plants, you know, on May 2nd in Texas, it's very humid, is my point. It looks really good. So I'm a fan of the concealer. I think it's a great, great lightweight option. Yeah, so those are my thoughts. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you've tried either of these products, let us know what you think down below. I love to hear others' opinions, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. We all have different skin and we can all kind of learn from each other what works best with each and every different type of skin tone, texture, and skin type. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a fabulous, fabulous day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.